Thank you very much, Scott. Here with linebacker Omar Howard and quarterback Kyle Lauletta. Kyle, we'll begin with you as the 2016 CA Preseason Offensive Player of the Year. Last season, you had some big shoes to fill replacing Michael Strauss, and you really exploded on the scene. What went right for you in your first year as starting quarterback for the Spiders?
Well, I think we really had a formula for success. We had outstanding players around us. I mean, the offensive line performed really, really well all season long. We had some unbelievable receivers. Brian Brown had over 1,400 yards receiving, and then Reggie Diggs on the backside. So it was really tough to guard us. I mean, if you put two guys on Reggie Diggs and try to take away the one-on-one, we would throw to Brian all day, and kind of vice versa. Teams tried to go man and blitz us, and then we had a man-to-man outlet in Reggie Diggs. So we just had weapons all across the board, and establishing the run game too. I mean, it kind of all pieces of the puzzle kind of fell together, and I was just playing as a part of the system. Our coaches schemed up well all season, and I was just playing within myself, and those were the games I had, or those were the times I had the best games when I just played within myself and played in the system.
You spoke of Brian Brown, special receiver. What makes him so great?
He really is. He's a savvy route runner. People don't understand how hard he is to guard. He does certain things at the top of his routes that it's just hard to explain. But I mean, he just gets open.
Yep.
And obviously he has deceiving speed. I mean, he'll get on your heels fast.
Yep.
And with our successful run game, our play action was great, and just being able to send him deep and just giving him a chance. Two balls where I kind of weren't the best passes in the world that stick out in my head is the Maryland game and the JMU game, and both of them were arguably underthrown passes, weren't good, but Brian just made me right, and kind of when you have an outstanding player like that just to bail you out, and it's nice to make him. He really makes me look good in lots of situations.
Now you do have some weapons you're going to have to replace this offseason. In Reggie Diggs, like you said, Jacoby Green, Seth Fisher. Talk about some of the guys that are going to have to step up in the backfield and on the opposite side of Brian Brown.
Right, we're deep at receiver. Brian's coming back. So I think defenses will be in tune to him, and we have Jamal Bevels, who will fill in for Reggie Diggs really nicely. He was out all last season with an ACL injury. It was a shame before last season during the spring. He was really having a heck of a spring, and I thought he was going to have a good season. And then the injury kind of set him back, and he hadn't redshirted yet, so he got a chance to redshirt. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. I hope I think he'll have a great season. He's had an unbelievable spring also. And in the backfield, Gordon Collins is going to step in and he'll be great for us. We saw New Hampshire. He broke out a long run for a touchdown. He has size, he has speed, he's physical, and he loves the game of football, and he's a student of the game. So I'm looking for big things out of him too. I'm really lucky to have him by my side too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kyle. Omar, I mean, you're a veteran of this. He did a fantastic job over here. Is it you're gonna have to credit him, right?
Yeah.
Is this why? Because
training.
Welcome back to Media Day, Omar. How was the great playoff run by the Spiders last year? Making to the semifinals. What do you think the team took away from that experience?
We saw how close we can get, and how good we can be, and we also saw how good we have to be to take the next step. So I think that's a huge takeaway. I think it motivated everybody to come back harder and come back more committed. This summer we've had great attendance at optional lifts, and people are going all out for this. 95%, I would say, probably of the team has been on campus, working out, watching film, going to practice. So it's been a great experience this summer, just from last year. The motivation is huge.
That's great. And David Jones, of course, named CA Preseason Defensive Player of the Year today. 9 interceptions last year. What makes him a special player?
He's just so quick. He can cover ground like nobody I've ever seen. I remember one story in my freshman year. That spring, I remember this one pass. He was 20 yards away. He took it and he went past me, and I was 10 yards ahead of him.
Wow.
And I don't claim to be the fastest man on earth, but I'm not slow. And he took it, and and I was like, wow, this guy can play.
Yep.
So that's how good he is.
Yeah. Well, to wrap it up, you guys open at Virginia this year, Omar. How is it exciting for you guys to play an ACC in-state opponent in the Cavaliers?
Oh, it's so fun. The atmosphere is great. They always put people out in the stands, and it's a big big games. So, I mean, we like to get up for big games, you know, like JMU last year, North Dakota State the year before, after that. So, I mean, it's a fun time.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today, Football Media Day. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having us.
All right.